England is back with us.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Welcome back.
England is.
Oh, it's nice to be back. Nice to see your smile. And the sun is shining. It looks like your house is lit up with sunshine.
No, not particularly. It's quite dull. But I don't know why.
Is it?
Yeah.
You must have a bit, well, and nice and bright in your place. That's nice.
Yeah.
Moses.
Moses and hey, Dana.
Moses, are you going to take class today?
Yeah, feels like a stretch. He hasn't had one today, have you?
Oh,
Hey?
oh.
Amanda, you have a cat too, don't you?
I do indeed, yes.
Oh.
But he doesn't take class?
Well, hang on. Can you see him?
Yeah.
He's actually
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, he's kind of on the top of the settee.
Yeah.
Sleeping.
Being comfortable.
Bit
Yeah.
me. Moses is going off.
He's indulging in time.
Yes. No, he's waiting to the bed.
Since
There's been such wonderful pictures of cats on Facebook. You know,
Yeah,
pop in periodically, and they're just real characters.
they certainly are. Yeah.
Oh, actually, there was such a cute one. I don't know. I don't do this often, but somebody sent maybe it was Ruth, the picture of the kitten noticing some spot of cream in the cappuccino, and the curiosity of the little kitten was just adorable.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's adorable. Mm.
And Dana, how is Bob?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bob is doing better. He went to the
Good.
farmer's market last week for the first time, this Saturday, walking with a cane.
Great.
He's put the crutches away.
Brilliant.
Smashing.
He hasn't done really exercises, but he's walking. So he's going up and downstairs.
Good.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we actually took a 2.5 hour drive through the foothills to celebrate our anniversary at a restaurant with a beautiful view of the foothills. And that was his first trip in the car, pretty much his first trip in the car.
Yeah.
So things are moving.
Good.
Very
Wow.
nice.
Good.
So,
Francie, you look so different this morning.
pardon?
I'm feeling quite well. Thank you.
Yes, you have new glasses, new hair, new
You?
Yeah, she does. She looks lovely.
Yes.
everything.
Yeah,
New
I thought that
colors.
too when I saw you. Yeah, very nice.
So let's just go round robin and everybody offer one word or phrase where you're at right now.
Okay.
We're breaking up, Dana.
Yeah.
It's breaking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't hear
Okay.
what you said. One word. What?
Where you're at right now at this moment.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, now I'm just going to double quick find out if I've got anything open that would be affecting.
It
There is
sounds
some
like there's some kind of
Is it
echo or
something?
something.
Yeah.
Pardon, what did you say?
There sounds like there's some kind of echo or distortion.
Mhm.
That's really strange, isn't it?
Mhm.
That hasn't happened before, has it? Let me.
No.
Sometimes it happens. Maybe Bob is listening in secretly.
I'm just going to double check the microphone.
Okay.
There is something else on. I can hear another
Yes.
program of some kind in the background.
Yeah, some, no, I hear that.
Okay. Has somebody got a television on or a radio?
That's strange. Because I hear this echo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
echo,
that's
yeah.
normally when that happens, that somebody else in your vicinity has Zoom on.
Mhm.
Like a double call.
Oh,
Yeah, and there's nobody on but us, 6 people.
Mm.
And I wonder where that echo is coming from. So I'm hearing that echo
Mhm.
like it's coming from somebody else. Would everybody just do me a favor and mute?
Mhm.
Okay, I also muted you, Patsy. Everybody give me a thumbs up if you still hear an echo. No, I mean, give me a thumbs up if you don't hear an echo. I don't hear an echo now. No, it's a mezzo. Okay, but is it better than before? No, it's not better. That's really strange because I don't hear the echo now. So bizarre. Okay. Well, let's go like this. Let's do the class with people muted unless you need to say something. And if it's too hard to just unmute, like give me a wave and I've got them all up here and I'll unmute you. So if you want to say something, try to get my attention. And if you can't, you'll have to unmute and speak up. No, I'm not saying I don't want you to speak up, but I don't know anything else to do for this sound problem. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to hear from. Okay, so I'm going to call your name, and I'm going to unmute you, so you don't have to do that. I'm going to call your name and ask you for one word or phrase about where you're at right now. So, Amanda.
Chilled.
Chilled. Okay. Ruth.
Cloudy.
Okay, Patsy. Oh, I need to unmute you, Patsy. Sorry. Yeah, you'll have to unmute. Okay. Yeah, that's not. Oh, there you are.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Marietta. You're still muted.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so, Dana, I think a little bit, there's obviously there's some processing going on or a little overwhelming with processing. Anyways, there's something, it's not clear.
Okay.
Mhm.
Patricia.
overwhelmed with technology.
Okay. Well, let's get out of the technology. So,
Just my cell phone and, you know, everything, there's thousands of things on there and it's just a mess. So.
okay, it sounds like we could all use some clarity in one way or another. So clarity it is. We'll do a class for some clarity. So let's all stand up to have your water. And even my camera is having trouble finding clarity. Hello, camera. This is me. Okay. There we go. So let's put our feet under our hips and close our eyes as we do brain buttons. And just attend to your breath and notice if there's any shift in your body. As we bring our arms to our hands to the midline of our body and sense that center core of our body. And then drop the awareness down to the bottom of the feet and to those tripods, those 3 points on a feet, and notice if we have equal weight on each of those points. And as we continue to breathe, notice the little dance, the little subtle dance as our body finds its equilibrium. And then we're going to, with our eyes closed, move our eyeballs from side to side like we normally do. We won't be able to see anything, but notice if the movement of our eyeballs actually changes our balance, or if that causes a disturbance in our equilibrium. And then shift hands when you're ready. And just continue to notice as you move your eyes around with them closed, our internal seeing. And maybe even keeping our eyes open. Move your fingertips down to the top of your pubic bone and your thumb and your forefinger rubbing above and below your lips. This is the up-down switching. And then allow your eyeballs to move up and down. Continuing to notice the center, your center. Continuing to breathe and then switching hands. Locating the bottom and the top of our central meridian. And then still with our eyes closed, we're going to put one hand on the sacrum and the other hand over our navel. And notice the front, now the depth of our body from the front to the back. Our past behind us, our future ahead of us, and we're right in the middle. So find that center from front to back. And then switch hands when you're ready. Feeling our three-dimensionality. You know, we're spending a lot of time with all this technology, as Patricia noted. And it's all that two-dimensionality. Well, here now we're feeling our front and our back. So feeling our third dimension, our depth, our whatever you want to call it, front to back. Being aware of our back space. And if you like, gently open up your eyes and focus off in the distance and bring the awareness back to things close to you and then back into the distance again. So moving the eyes from far to near. And letting our hands go. Last week, Amanda and Ruth, we worked on, I don't know if you had a chance to see, but we worked on different qualities of movement. And we worked on the sense in space of multi-focus and single focus sense of space. So we can do that through movement, but even now, we can notice in our vision, are we bringing in a multi-focus attention to space, or are we bringing in a direct focus? And when we deal with our technology all the time, it's very direct, right? It's single focused. We can lose what that multi-focus brings to us. And how the multi-focus can help to provide context for what we may be focusing on. Okay, so now let's do our ears before we go on. And maybe including a little hanging on to our earlobes and just letting the weight of our arms lengthen them. Chinese say big ears, happy person. But it also helps with our cranial sutures and our TMJ, our jaw joint. And let's do our eye wake-up points. So first the points at the ends of the eyebrows and the bridge of the nose. And then stroking or tapping around the orbit of the eye. Enlarging that to go above the eyebrows and along the cheekbone. Then allow the hands to rest on the jaw. Allowing the jaw to hang more loosely, more relaxed. Tongue relaxed. Then let's do our neurolymphatic stimulation. I did this morning for a similar reason, wanting to kind of clear out some stuff. So clarity, maybe partly letting our internal garbage system get rid of some of the junk that might, like cleaning the windows. And then after we go along under the collarbones, coming down the sternum. And when we get to the bottom of the ribs, stroking under the ribs. Then let's go back up under the arms. under the breasts and across all the ribs. I mean, I'm doing more than the specific neurolymphatic points, but I find it always feels good. We can hold a lot of tension in our chests. And doing the other side, I actually was amazed. I went to a chiropractor when I was in the Royal Winnipeg Ballet. So this is like 45 years ago in Winnipeg. And he had this little machine for massage. And it was like 2 halves of hard rubber balls, like you have for dogs, you know, those India rubber balls. And it went bzzz, but it also had a sound. And the more tension in your body, the higher the sound got. So he'd be going in and go like this. And I thought all the pain was in my back, and I thought all the tension would be there. And he showed me how much tension I was holding in my chest. It was amazing. Those little balls went shrieking when it got to my chest. So all between those ribs. And then we're going to go on either side of the navel and across the top of the pubic bone. And then maybe just with sort of loose fists rubbing along the inside of our thighs and then along the outside of our thighs. Coming around the back to the top, just under the pelvic crest. You know, just back here. And then going along the sides of the spine, rubbing along either side of the spine as far up as you can reach. Catching up from the top, continuing to massage along either side of the spine and going especially just at the base of the neck, you know, opposite kind of the collarbones there, and then up right in that little notch at the occiput. And then we have the ones at the top, both inside and outside of the arm, just like our thighs, same thing. Inside and outside of the arms. And we can also do the bracelets coming all the way up the arm. And when you're ready, do the other arm. And then let's do shake the tree, which we haven't done for a while. I haven't been doing it either, and I kind of miss it. So that's where we're just going to, let's rise up on the balls of our feet, and then just drop all of the tension away. Whatever you want to let go of, okay? So anything that you don't need today, bring it all up and then just let it go. Whew. All those clouds, just let them go. All that technology, just let it go. And then we're just going to allow ourselves to shake however you like. Just shake it all out. Easy knees. And as you're shaking, notice any tension in the body that isn't moving, anything that's holding. And then just allow yourself to let that tension go. Just shake it out. Are you holding up your shoulders? You can just let them go. Are you holding tight in your hips or your knees? Just let them go. I find this is a great way to let go of my shoulder tension. Imagine a long neck and loose shoulders. And then when you're ready, just rest, breathe, and notice the energy in your body. So I was thinking today about our kinespheres. So we've talked about flexion and extension and rotation. We use that in the balancing we've done together. And I'm sorry, I don't remember totally who was where for which balances we've done in the last month. But some of the things that we worked through were the physical concepts of flexion, extension, rotation, and in balancing, do we need to come in more to ourselves? Do we need to reach out more into the world? Do we need to get a new perspective with rotation? We've worked with the 3 dimensions, moving forward into action, backing off, and you can explore these with me. We've worked with laterality, moving to the side to side. What do we need to bring into our lives? We've worked with the up and down. How do we need to organize ourselves? Do we need more stability? Do we need more flexibility? All those things in there. And then last week, we worked with the idea of what is the quality of the movement that we bring to these things. So as we move up and down, do we need to move in a sustained way? Do we need to be able to move quickly, like jumping? We have various possibilities, right? We can dab our energy. We can flick our energy. We can press our energy. We can punch our energy. There's all those different qualities of energy we can, of movement that we can bring to any of these dimensions. We can punch forward. Okay, we can slash in our sagittal dimension. We can float. We can press. We can glide with lightness and press with strength. Any of these movements, we can change the quality for what we need. So as we balance, we can think about which of those qualities do we need to bring, because different goals, different intentions, different actions in life need different qualities. Sometimes we need to be strong, sometimes we need to be gentle, sometimes we need to be quick, sometimes we need to be able to sustain our energy. Sometimes we need to have a very direct focus. Sometimes we really need, or maybe just want to have multi-focus, indulge in the space, enjoy the space. So kind of a review of last week. Yes? So let us this week bring all those different movement qualities. So I'm just going to ask, raise your hands if you were here last week. Okay, Marietta. Marietta, were you able to look at the video? A little bit, okay. Ruth and Amanda, are you familiar with it? I know Ruth is familiar with the qualities of movement. Okay, so pretty much, Marietta, if you can just follow along, and if you get lost, but we're talking about basically how we relate to space, time, and energy. And how space, time, and energy, the way we use them changes the quality of our movement. So whether our attitude towards space is direct and focused, or whether it's flexible, whether our sense of time is quick, sudden, or whether it's sustained, and whether our energy is strong, use of force, powerful, or whether it's light and gentle. So all those things combine to make our quality of movement. And we played with the 8 different combinations, and those are some of the words I use: floating, flick, dab, slash, press, punch. Okay, so here we go. Today, I thought we could explore our integrated movements. So the integrated movements that we use, with the colors, right? So you can look at this and see if there's a color, that you're particularly drawn to today or feels a little bit out of balance. Raise a thumb if there's a color that stands out to you. Oh, great. Okay. Oh boy, I want to know what they are. So you're going to have to unmute yourselves. You're unmuted, Patsy, so you go first.
I always say blue, and I do again today.
Okay.
Blue.
Okay, Ruth.
Red.
Okay, Amanda.
Red. It's obviously something in England with the clouds.
Yeah.
Okay. And Patricia.
Mine's red also.
Oh.
Okay, and Marietta.
Red.
Alrighty.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to start with Patsy. And I'm not showing favoritism. It's just Dr. Dennison starts with blue, water. And I didn't ask you why when we were doing that. But water is about trust. So I guess if you start with building up some trust, then you can move into transformation, being, and needs and value. So let's start with going inner direction. Okay. So let's start with a movement for inner direction. And I'm going to ask you to mute again because I'm getting, actually, I think it's coming from, I'm going to mute you, Patsy. No, it's not coming from Patsy. It's coming from somebody else. There we go. I'm not hearing the echo now. Okay. So here we go. So we're going to the movement for inner direction. So our sense of being in charge of our lives. So feet flat on the floor. Not flat, of course. What I mean is be aware of your feet on the surface of the floor. Be aware of that connection to the ground. And coming up through the body, arching the body as you inhale, creating that lovely bow with your whole body, and then coming back to neutral again. Inhaling and creating that bow. So here's a movement that definitely has a sustained quality to it. It doesn't make any sense to do this quickly. And we time it with our breath. Think about your energy. Do you feel like you want to really have a sense of power? In your inner direction? Or do you want lightness of energy? And I wonder what kind of attention to the space. Does it feel like you want to be aware of everything around you as you do this? Or do you feel more a sense of direct focus, creating this shape of a bow? Just always things to explore when you move. And then we're going to go down on the floor and do gentle spirit. So this is that one that's a little bit complicated. So we're going to first rest of all on our forearms, creating like a triangle between our elbows and our fingertips, which are together, or if you need more support, you can place your fingers on the ground and make the triangle between your thumbs and your forefingers. And pressing on the ground, we lift our head, turn it to the left. Unless that doesn't feel right, you can turn it to the right. And we're going to make circles with our heads. And then we're going to hump our legs. So take your time to get this rhythm, because notice the different quality. Our head is doing something that is sustained and circular in movement, sort of multi-focus. And our forelegs are doing a direct movement that is more quick. And there is a visualization of this with this one too. If you want to close your eyes and visualize a three-sided pyramid that represents body, mind, spirit, and heart. This is about that sense of feeling safety and the ability to put our whole spirit into our lives. Feeling, I think of it as courage, as opposed to fear. Or as the balance for fear. And when you're done, let's sit together. I want to do green anyway. Green being wood, transformation, choice. So let's reach from one side to the other. So can your energy reach out into space to find the new possibilities? Piercing through the clouds. To find the light that we need to bring into our lives, the clarity we want to bring into our lives. And Dr. Dennison has now renamed this one, I believe, Picking Fruit. So as I'm doing it, I'm noticing the combination of multifocus becoming direct, and then multifocus becoming direct as we make choices in life, in our lives. But we need both, right? We need otherwise, because we don't want to get caught in that dichotomy of, do I do it or don't I do it? What are other choices? What are other possibilities? So finding other possibilities rather than being stuck in the idea that it is simply a yes, no, either or situation that we find in multifocus, multiple possibilities that may be better than just the either or situation we find ourselves in. So for choice, speaking of which, just watch me first. This is the one where we're going to make lazy 8 with our hands, as if we've got one choice over here and another choice over here, and we can easily flow, and there's another one, and there's another one. And while we do that, our knees just drop in the opposite direction. So go ahead. I hope that's clear. So this is definitely a flexible use of space. Once again, though, our knees are making a direct movement and our arms are making a flexible movement. So we combine both. The flexibility of possibilities and the directness of a choice. And once again, you can play with, do you need more power or more lightness, more gentleness? And when you're ready, roll over and sit up. And we'll move on to the red, the fire in our lives, bringing that passion into what we do. So we're going to start with bonding. Yes. And interestingly enough, this position, the thumbs here, you see me wiggling my thumbs, the little picture on the screen. Those points are actually our lung points, which is metal, but they are worth. Lung meridian is about worth. So when we bond, I know for me, that there is a relation with our sense of worth, or our sense of worth supports maybe this. How am I thinking of this? Fire, earth, metal. Yeah. So when we can bond to our whole being, how does that support our sense of worth? That's the way I look at it. This is kind of personal for me right now, what I'm working on and playing with. And our fingers here are along our the meridian that is related to relaxation and our needs from the earth element. And then we're going to move on to, this is also, meridian is also called the heart protector. That resonates with you. Then if we move to harmony, so this time rather than the rocking side to side, we're making the circular movement with our spine. And we're gently holding the points around the ear, specifically the points above the ear. And actually, there are points related to bonding there as well. And when you're ready, reverse the circle. I am in tune with the flow of life. In the right place at the right time. So after these movements that all revolve around ourselves, which is the pericardium meridian and what the Chinese call the triple heater, and those are our lower energy center, our heart energy center, and one higher up, which I've forgotten exactly where they characterize it. Now we move out into the world and also receive. So giving and receiving, that balance, that's needed for clarity in our lives. Yes, that balance between giving and receiving. I remember this was quite a topic for us, you know, way back for a while in COVID, of finding that balance of giving and receiving. And this is the heart meridian. Dr. Dennison calls it unconditional love. And if you want to give it sound, you can just let the sound out. Huh. Oh. 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 So you could play with the timing of this too, and the energy, yes, whether it's a feeling more gentle or power. And also, I love to do this with this kind of sustained continuous flow, but we could also make it more controlled, more focused. Moving on now, we're going to stand up. And the last one in the fire realm is assimilation. So how we take in what we need, assimilate what we need, learn from our experience, how we build ourselves. And the movements are, the legs are going to flex. This is another one of these combination things. So very direct movement of the legs, and the arms are going to do our lazy eight. So as our lazy eight goes to the left, we lift our left leg. As our lazy eight goes to the right, we lift the right leg. So you can combine the direct movement of the legs with the flexible movement of the arms. The legs could even have more of a quick movement, while the arms do a very flowing movement, if you like, or the legs can flow as well. And again, you could make this a very powerful movement, or you could make it a very gentle, light movement. Okay, and how are we doing now?
Balanced.
Balanced.
Great.
Yep, balanced.
Okay. Any observations? So one other thing that I was thinking of, well, did somebody?
I think it's Philip.
What?
I think it's Philip. I blame him.
Oh,
Oh, Philip, okay,
he's making all the noise. Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. So I'm going to suggest we do a bit of Qigong. And the other thing I wanted to work with today that we can just play with a little bit is the whole idea of our own kinesphere. So that's our own movement sphere that we move in. And as you do the Qigong, feel how much you can move. How much can you reach out into your kinesphere as you're doing the movement? That's probably not the way the Chinese think of doing Qigong. But without necessarily changing, without a sense of trying to push or stretch or you know, but just how much space can you experience with your body as you're doing Qigong? How much can you open up your body into this? One of the things that I found when I was One of the things that I found when I was doing the Qigong myself every day, and I was experiencing a lot of particularly shoulder pain, was when I did the movements, especially if I slowed it down, and if I thought of extending from the distal ends of my body as I moved, I started to create space in the joints, which meant the movement was much less painful. So the more you can actually, I think of it as embracing space as you move, rather than we sometimes get in a habit of drawing into ourselves, tightening into ourselves. So can we extend out into that imaginary kinesphere around us, almost as if we were always embracing great balloons that kept getting larger and larger and larger. Okay, so we'll do some of the Qigong together with that idea of expanding into space. Space for light, space for clarity. Sculpting the space with our bodies. In the Qigong, it's especially with our arms. Transition. Caressing the space with our skin. Transition. One way to play with the quality of a movement is to imagine moving in different substances. So here we are moving in the air, but we could be moving in water. We could be doing this in water. How does that change the way this movement feels? Or maybe we're moving through jelly or jello, as we call it here. What is that like if you were moving through jello? Or maybe you're in a luxurious vat of the most glorious extra virgin olive oil. And transition. Could you be tracing a rainbow through the sky, through the clouds? Parting those clouds. Scattering stardust. One of my brain gym teachers would challenge us. She said, challenge yourself to sparkle every day, to find some way to sparkle. Transition. How high is your kinesphere? And can you release that energy of your body even bigger than the edges of your body can extend? Can you sense that energy? Down the bottoms of your feet, down into the earth, and up out the top of your head and your fingertips, up out into space, piercing the clouds. Transition. Now we have a real flexible multi-focus. What all do you see as you go on this are you gathering in all that you see? Are you pushing away what you don't need? Gathering in, we have that movement we didn't do for contentment. I think that was Patsy's favorite, scooping up. And so this is kind of a similar thing, but we're doing it three-dimensionally, not just symmetrically like in the contentment movement. We're scooping out, bringing it in, pushing away, bringing more in, pushing away. And I forgot what comes next. Transition. We're going to reach around, up and over. Not only are you making a circle with your hands and a curve with your spine, but do your eyes go all the way around in a sagittal circle? Do you see all the way up to the back and then all the way up and over? And reaching out to the side. This is a movement that really helped my shoulders when I really focused on the extension through my fingertips. And gave my shoulders the space they needed. And they said to me, thank you. I don't need to hurt anymore. Transition, looking at the moon. Again, we have a flexible focus to a direct, and a flexible sweep to a direct movement. Transition. Is this a push or a glide for you? In other words, is it more strong or more gentle, or somewhere in between. What do you need now? Transition. Different perspectives, different choices. I just thought about how my arms are rotating. So I see one side and then I see the other. I just want to do at least one of these lunges. So stepping forward so we can really experience that incredible expanding into space that this movement can be. So we don't do this kind of movement until we're halfway through the sequence. Because once again, we've got very strong, powerful movement in our legs as we yield and push from one leg to the other. And it's very direct in its focus. And then we have this great opening up of the upper body on top of that. So that sense of power down below. And it could be very powerful feeling up above, or it could be a very light feeling up above. And much more flexible and multi-focus with the top of the body as the legs are keeping us in this very direct movement and stepping back to do the other side. Also, the lower body is moving sagittally forward and back. And the upper body, the arms open up to the side laterally. So it's multi-dimensional, multi-planes. We have all those possibilities as human beings. Let's bring our legs back together and just do our flying goose. Oh, wait. Let's do the one really direct, quick movement that we have. So let's do our punches. So this is one really different movement quality that we use. Quick, direct, powerful. And then transitioning to the flying goose. And here we have very light, sustained movement. And then to finish our set, as we always do, coming up and around. So let's just try one more. Arms floating up, or two more. And then the arms try pressing down. So powerfully pressing the energy down. And then open up again, pressing up. And now glide gently down. Just to notice a difference. And there we are. So go ahead and unmute. So that's really the first time we've had real internet kind of crappy service.
I have to say quite weirdly, where I teach in the studio, our camera isn't working there. And I've had the same problem on my computer, but I can use my plug-in camera, but it won't work on another computer. The Zoom has done something, I don't know.
Huh, okay. Yeah, and I have this new I'm using my cam, which is a fairly pricey, good quality cam. So yeah. Yeah, and Zoom did do an upgrade. I did the upgrade a week or two ago. So who knows? Okay, well, any last last word from you? Where are you at now? Okay, I'll call on people. Amanda.
I'm feeling good.
Okay.
I feel stretched and moved and good, in a good place. Thank you.
Patsy.
I thoroughly enjoyed today thinking about pressing and quick and gentle, all those words. I really did enjoy today. So thank you very much, Dana.
No, you great. Ruth.
Well, I feel I've got a lot more clarity than I had when I started, so that's good. The clouds have opened up and the blue light is coming in. So yeah, it's done the trick. Thank you.
Good. Patricia.
I'm more focused. I'm more present, and my body isn't quite as achy as it was. Thank you.
Good.
Right.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very grateful to have this time to play together. I haven't thought about our neighbors and the emails I've gotten for a whole hour, which is wonderful. Yeah. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
You have a great week.
Well, it's always
You too.
And we'll see you next week.